number of momentous occasions where on account the human rights have been led to change of the perspectives of the human rights. So regarding this, we have conducted this national symposium, and yesterday we had some papers, and today also morning we got some papers presented by the scholars and the various academicians and students.
First, we have conducted Swachh Bharat program to clean not only our surroundings but all the cyberage. With this brief thought of the day, I feel it my immense pleasure and honor to introduce today's chief guest and other legal luminaries to you. I feel it my great privilege to introduce you our today's chief guest, Justice C.V. Ramul Garu. He is son of his district soil. His lordship was born on 20th February 1949 in Achampalli village of Bodhan town of Nizamabad district. Had schooling in Bodhan, college education in Nizamabad. His lordship delivered judgments touching human rights, fundamental rights and various service matters. It is really a proud moment to have such a towering legal luminary municip. In the year 1985, served the state judiciary in various capacities, became senior civil judge and then promoted as district judge. He is also known for his sincerity, discipline and knowledge of law. As chairman of Industry Nizamabad, he dealt with various labor problems in a systematic way and within the parameters of law enforced, and he even streamlined the district judiciary to the extent possible and to the best of his ability, which he worked as principal district judge Nizamabad. He is a man of commitment and works with devotion. He published a number of books and written a number of books and published a number of articles, associated editor for book Pillars of Justice, and he is a member of number of professional bodies and academic bodies. He is also a president for Labor Law Firm and doing social work in the poor and participating in legal literary program.
I feel it is a privilege to stand before the eminent personalities like C.V. Ramul Garu and Partha Garu, Vishnumarthi Garu and Mohammed Garu. It is a memorable day for us in the law college, having a great symposium which can create awareness among the students and which can increase the commitment among the teachers about the human rights. నిజంగా తెలంగాణ గడ్డ గర్వించదగ్గ ముద్దు బిడ్డలు వీళ్ళని మనకెంతో నాకైతే చాలా ఇన్స్పిరేషన్ అనేటువంటి వ్యక్తులుగా నేను గుర్తిస్తాను. బహుశా మీరందరూ కూడా అట్లాగే గుర్తిస్తారు, గౌరవిస్తారని నేను ఆశిస్తున్నాను. రెండో విషయం ఏంటంటే, మానవ హక్కుల గురించి మాట్లాడాలంటే నాకు కూడా కొన్ని అభిప్రాయాలు ఉన్నాయి కానీ సమయం లేదు. నేను ఇక్కడ కోట్ వేసుకొని నిలబడ్డా అంటే నాకు ఒక గౌరవం అనిపిస్తుంది. ఎందుకు అనిపిస్తుంది అంటే, ఒకరోజు ఒకనొక దశలో సెట్ వేసుకోవడానికి వీలు లేని కుటుంబాల నుంచి వచ్చినటువంటి వాళ్ళు, మీరు చొక్కా వేసుకోవడానికి వీలు లేదు, మీరు నమ్ముతారో నమ్మరో కానీ చొక్కా వేసుకోవడానికి వీలు లేదు అనేటువంటిది, చొక్కా వేసుకొని కొట్లాడితే ఒక కేసు పక్క ఊర్లో ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక కేసు హైకోర్టు వరకు వెళ్ళింది. అలాంటి పరిస్థితిని చూసినటువంటి నాకు ఒకరోజు మన గౌరవనీయులైనటువంటి సివి రాములు గారు లింబాద్రి, మీ యూనివర్సిటీకి ఏమో కోడ్ లేదా, డ్రెస్ కోడ్ అని అడిగాడు. సరే, యూనివర్సిటీకి డ్రెస్ కోడ్ లేదు సార్, కానీ కొన్ని డిపార్ట్మెంట్లకు ఉంటాయి సార్. లా స్టూడెంట్స్ అయితే లా వాళ్ళు వేస్తారు, కొందరు ఎంబీఏ వాళ్ళు వేస్తారు, లేదు పెట్టాల్సి ఉండే అని లాస్ట్ వాళ్ళకి లేకుంటే లేకపోయారు. నువ్వన్నా ఒక కోట్ వేసుకొని రిజిస్టర్ అంటే ఇట్లా ఉండాలయ్యా అని అన్నాడు. అంటే నాకు ఒక సెంట్ వేసుకోవడాన్ని ఉంటే బాగుంటుంది, అంటే మనల్ని బాగా చూడాలా, మీరు బాగుండాలనే కళలు కనడం ఏదో, అందుకు మనం వాళ్ళకి నమస్కారం చేస్తాం. మానవత్వం ఉన్నటువంటి వాళ్ళు మనుషులు బాగా ఎదగాల, మనుషులు బాగా కనిపించాలా అనేటువంటిది. అంటే నేను రెండు చూసిన, మా బాపులు డ్రెస్సులు వేసుకోవడానికి భయపడ్డటువంటి వాళ్ళని చూసిన, అట్లాగే మీరు డ్రెస్సులు వేసుకుంటే బాగుంటుందని మనల్ని మెచ్చుకొని మనల్ని ప్రోత్సహించే ఇలాంటి మానవ తప్పకుండా యూనివర్సిటీ అభివృద్ధికి వాళ్ళ సహాయ సహకారాలు అందుకునేటువంటి ఆశ నాకుండే. అందుకు వాళ్ళు బిజీగా ఉన్నా ఏ రకమైనటువంటి ఇవి లేకుండా మనం చెప్తే, మనం రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తే, ఫోన్లో చెప్తే వాళ్ళు ఎంత దూరం రావడం అనేటువంటిది నాకు చాలా ఆనందించింది. అది మానవ హక్కుల్ని గుర్తించడం అంటే, మనుషుల్ని గుర్తించడం అంటే అని నేను భావిస్తున్నాను. మనందరికి కూడా రైట్ టు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ యాక్ట్ వచ్చింది, మనందరికి కూడా రైట్ టు వర్క్ వచ్చింది, పనికి ఆహార పథకం అనేటువంటి హక్కుగా వచ్చింది. అంటే ప్రజలందరికీ కూడా రైట్ టు ఎడ్యుకేషన్ అనేటువంటి ఒక హక్కు వచ్చింది. అంటే ఎవరికైతే అవకాశం లేవో మీకు అందరికీ రాజ్యాంగము అందరికీ ఈ యొక్క ప్రజాస్వామిక పద్ధతిలో మీకు హక్కులు కల్పించబడ్డాయి. ఆ హక్కుల్ని మీరు స్వీకరించి మీ యొక్క ఆలోచనలు పెంచుకోండి, మీ యొక్క జీవన స్థితిగతులు పెంచుకోండి. అట్లాగే మీరు బాధ్యతలను కూడా మర్చిపోవద్దు. మనం బాధ్యతతో మెలగాల, బాధ్యతతో మన విధులు నిర్వహించాలా, బాధ్యతతో మనం చదువుకోవాలా, చదువుకొని మనం గొప్పవారు కావాలని. కాబట్టి ఈ విధంగా అయినటువంటి హక్కులకు సంబంధించినటువంటి విషయాల మీద ఈరోజు సెమినార్లో మాట్లాడడానికి ఇంతమంది రావడం అనేటువంటిది నాకు చాలా ఆనందంగా ఉన్నది.
I wanted to say good morning friends, but somehow I failed to say today. It has already become afternoon. New building, well ventilated, and good amount of light is there. Hot outside but pleasant inside. So this is a very, very favorable weather for us, environment for us within these four walls. I am happy about it. Honorable Justice C.V. Ramanu garu, a towering personality, fine human being. Today only I came to know that he is also from Nizamabad district. So both of us are sons of Nizamabad. So I am happy to be associated with this program. He has spent almost 24 years of practice in High Court. He's a quite experienced legal luminary. Definitely this seminar will take necessary help from us. Ramanu garu, I came to know that he is from Karimnagar district. Previously, I used to be called the son-in-law of Karimnagar when I was collector of Karimnagar. The then district minister declared in a public meeting that he is collector and son-in-law of Karimnagar. Anyway, Professor Vishnumurthy garu also amongst us, quite a senior professor, and he spent most of his time in Kakatiya University, though he belongs to again Karimnagar district. So all of us have some, common ground, either Nizamabad or Karimnagar district, and our cool and effective registrar is also from Nizamabad district. Anyway, there is some feel-good factor for all of us. These are rights which you enjoy as a human being. Unless you are a human being, you cannot have this right. Animals doesn't have this human right. They have their own animal rights, isn't it? So these human rights are inherent to human beings, though as a kind of entity, we can say they start from our birth. But if you really conceptualize, even before you are born, there is a human right involved. And it is a very, very burning topic in our country, where we discuss about, problem of feticide. We discuss the problem of PNDT. How many are aware, students? PNDT. Have you heard this word? I am very happy to know. What is that expansion of PNDT? What does it deal with? Yeah, okay, thank you. So it's a very, very burning issue, and it is a very, very serious problem in our society. Because generally, not only India for that matter, entire world is patriarchal. It's not, confined to India. Entire world is patriarchal, and entire society, as a human society, it is endemic. Patriarchal society. It's very surprising to learn today that one convention, I don't know whether you call it treaty, was signed late by US, United States of America, so-called progressive country. It took decades of time to sign the treaty. See, when we, from British rule, and we salute Dr. B.R. Ambedkar for enshrining so many good things, which are all, pertaining to ultimately human rights issues. back into the annals of history of human rights, Dr. Yellosa spoke of Magna Carta, maybe around 13th century, but we can trace it back to the great king called Cyrus. Even now there is a Cyrus cylinder, which is nothing but a clay tabloid, somewhere preserved in New York Museum now. So when he conquered, Cyrus the king conquered Babylon, somewhere in 539 BC, then he made a statement. All these slaves are free and they can practice any faith, any religion, whatever they want, they could practice. As we visualize, as Indians, even if you recollect our Vedas, Puranas, Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, anything, you find that they were taking care of human rights in one way or the other. These human rights are declared academically that they are indivisible, they are interrelated, they are interdependent, and they are inalienable rights of human beings. And these human rights, they go beyond nations, caste, creed, religion, language. It goes beyond. If somebody is a human being, then human right is there. First generation being civil political, second generation being economic, including sustainable development, ecology, genocide, genetically modified organisms, cloning, IVF, in vitro fertilization, surrogacy, which is latest controversy you might have seen in media. Your actor, Bollywood actor, surrogacy, there was a big controversy. Anybody? Shah Rukh Khan, yes. So there was a controversy on the surrogacy issue of, Shah Rukh Khan. So many issues are coming up. Genocide, feticide, racial discrimination, all these, they represent the third generation of human rights. You cannot standardize human rights. You cannot fix that this is a human right. Every human right has to be understood from different perspective. If you belong to different country, then you have to understand human rights from that perspective. For a particular culture, for a particular community, anything, every human right, they say there are minimum 2 facets for each and every human rights. Minimum, at least 2 facets are there. So you have to look from the perspective and then understand what is the implication from the angle of human rights. We talk of constitutional remedies. They look very simple. The writ jurisdiction enjoyed by Honorable High Court. But if you take a case of writ jurisdiction and get into it, it's very difficult. How do you decide a case of human rights? Very, very thin line is drawn between issues where you can say this is violation or this is not a violation. For you it may look like violation, for me it may not be violation at all. So it's a very complex and evolving subject, and this subject goes on enriched in the days to come. Let us quote example of Narmada project. We thought of taking loan, World Bank loan from Narmada project. Then what happened? Narmada Andolan, you are all aware. Who is the person behind it? Veda. He left the PhD. He was doing law, I think, PhD in law, and she left it and took up that Andolan, and she became a celebrity now. That particular project, originally it was funded by World Bank. Then after this Andolan came up, then World Bank left. Now Government of India is funding. So it's again, third generation human right, displacement of people. It's a discussion between economy versus environment. If you take this Narmada project from government angle, development is very, very important. Unless you construct the project, you cannot irrigate the land, you cannot increase the productivity and income of the people under the project. But if you look from the perspective of the people who are losing land, who are losing lives, who are losing livelihoods, the human rights issues involved. So the issues are not that simple. Very, very ticklish and complex and requires application of mind. If you look from this angle, it will be different. From other angle, it will be different. There are conflict zones in our country. The Kashmir can be one example, or northeastern states can be one example. If some area is declared as disturbed area by the government, that means violation of human rights is involved. That means we are preventing individuals to, exercise their rights in some capacity or the other. Social problems, it may be dowry, it may be early marriage, it may be child marriage, they are all in the framework of human rights. You might have heard CAP panchayats. Anybody? KHAP, CAP. Anybody from that group? CAP panchayats. Bihar, UP, Rajasthan, they conduct CAP panchayats. They are also considered violation of human rights. Child labor, bond labor, they are all very, very extreme human issues. HIV/AIDS, human rights issue. You are stigmatizing a person who is HIV positive. It so happened, 2 world wars, then United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, formation of UN, this coincided with the Indian independence. That's how you find that B.R. Ambedkar Sahab has brought all those elements which are there in them, he has enshrined in our Indian Constitution. He brought them within framework of Indian Constitution in different formats. And latest legislation we can mention, I think with which our judges will be also concerned, maybe they'll be discussing in detail. Production of, what is that act? Human Rights Act 1993. Now we talk of State Human Rights Commission. At national level there is a Human Rights Commission. Any citizen is aggrieved with any of bureaucracy, then they can approach Human Rights Commission. So the framework is very, very vast. It encompasses entire life of an individual, entire world. Something is relating to human being, it comes under, human rights framework. Human rights are not pages to be read. They are not speeches. They deal with lives. A person in a school, in a factory, in an office, a lady employee works in an office, somebody is harassing. It's a question of human rights. Sexual Harassment Act, they used to call some nomenclature. So finally, it is coming as, I don't know whether it is enacted still or not, it is under enactment. Sexual Harassment Act. So many provisions our women are facing day to day in their offices, schools, colleges. Everybody is covered in that. So basically human rights are choices which we make every day, right from morning till evening. I thank Dr. Eloza for taking initiative for conducting this very, very important seminar.
Advise you, the last 2 days, you should open a legal aid clinic and you should work it for legal awareness along with Sudarshan. This is also a legal volunteer. He is doing a wonderful job. For legal volunteers, the last 2 days who know the subject, if they go to the society, certainly they will be able to, for instance, domestic violence is there. Domestic violence has been misinterpreted in such a manner. Many of the advocates, they are taking up also earning money. Of course, that may be the ultimately what is the solution? You have to create a domestic law in the members of the domestic law. You remove the domestic violence, in future there will not be any domestic violence.
Legal aid, the need of the students to go for the legal services and door to door. And you have also remarked that without practical knowledge, one cannot be